I'm really, really happy to be standing here today with this book in my hand. It's been a long time coming, and I'm really pleased to see the finished product. When I was 8 years old, my mother bought me this book, which I was really excited about because it was my first hardcover exercise book. And I thought I was really special to have a tough one that was 240 pages. And it was my goal to fill it up with poetry, and that was my biggest goal in the world. And you can see from the handwriting, when I was 8 years old, I wrote nice stories about haunted houses and things, and then as I grew up into teenage years, my writing got a bit smaller and my topics a little bit more interesting. But yeah, when I was in Ireland in 2003, I finished this book, and I was really happy with that. But I really wanted to then go on and turn my work into a collection. Mind you, not a lot of the poems in this book have made it into Undertow, but it really is fabulous to achieve this goal. And I'd really like to thank two important people for getting me to this point. First person is Ralph Westman for making this book a reality, and like Gina and Chris have said, he's played a really vital role in literature in Tasmania and Australia, and with his publishing A Famous Reporter, which he did for many years, that played a really important role for me in publishing some of my poems and convincing me that it was worthwhile keeping going and writing poetry, that there was a bit of an audience for my work. And then as he's turned his energy to producing poetry books, which I understand isn't going to make him a bucket load of cash and is quite, tiresome work. But I really admire his dedication and really thank him for approaching me and offering to publish his book and then doing such a good job of it. So thanks, Ralph. And the other main person that's been really key to this project is Gina, who did such a fantastic job of editing the manuscript and helping me to make the hard decisions about what to leave in, what to leave out, how to order the collection, how to polish the poems. And she was really great to work with, really respectful and collaborative and encouraging and clear and reliable. And she helped me turn the collection into something that I could be confident of and proud of. So I really thank Gina for all of that work, and also for your mentoring and support over the years. I'd like to thank my friend in Queensland, Jen Sutherland, for taking the photo for the book, and also my friend Jen Lorimer, who's here today, who helps with her scarce time and her fantastic skills to design the cover, which I've had lots of good feedback about, so thank you very much, Jen. And I also want to thank my poetry workshopping group, the Poetry Diggers. So there's Jen, Karen, Lorraine, Jenny, Steve, Mike and Jan, and other members past and present, including Robin and Anna. The group's kept me churning out at least one poem a month, so no matter how busy I get with my activism and work and everything else, it's been really important to help me kind of, at least leave some time for poetry. And their feedback and suggestions have helped to polish up a lot of the poems that are in this book, so I'm really thankful to them. Many of you might know that being a poet in modern day Australia is kind of tough. It's a lot of the times you feel unappreciated and like your art form's not very popular, and at times I've thought, with my scarce time, maybe I should just give it a miss and focus on other things. And at times I've made those deals that you sometimes make when you send something in to a publisher or a competition and you say, well, if it doesn't get chosen, that's it, I'm going to give it up. And I'd like to thank Ben Welter for stepping in at one point in time and helping to get the Young Writers Project, the Brew, off the ground, because that was one of those times I sent it in and I was like, right, this is it. And he selected some of my poems and displayed them in a cafe, and that helped me to believe that there was a bit of an audience for poetry and it was worth keeping going. And also Liz Winfield, who runs the Republic readings and has really been supportive, and Cameron Hindram, who invited me to be a guest poet at the Tasmanian Poetry Festival last year and has been really supportive. And there's also so many other great poets and writers in Tassie that I could thank. The list is really long. People like Tim Thorne, Tony Rayner, Lynn Reeves, Jane Williams, Robin Matheson, Megan Schaffner. Lots of people have been really supportive and encouraging. It's encouraging. It's a really lovely, nurturing kind of writing community in Tassie. And thank you to Chris and Janet for the bookshop and for hosting this event. Thank you to Jeremy for being such a lovely partner and encouraging me to do what I love, and graciously allowing me to put some poems in this book that touch on aspects of our experience. Mind you, a lot of the poems are fictional, and and a lot of them are based on other people's stories. So don't think you know me any better. Having said all that, I'm really happy to be able to share these poems with you, and I'd like to thank you all for coming and making this such a good launch and celebrating with Ralph and Gina and I. And I hope you enjoy the book. And I can read a couple of poems if you want.
Yep.
Yeah. Yes.
So,
You're going to say if it's fictional or not
leave that to your imagination. This one's called Bordeaux, New Year's Eve. Tonight in this strange town, I asked 5 men directions. The first did not know the place and led his dog onwards, eyes smiling. Suit man couldn't understand my poor French pronunciation. The third, standing by a taxi, pointed, but still I could not find. The fourth, suspiciously helpful, walked me astray. The fifth was old and drunk and stepping from his flat. His slurred commands got me there, where I drank my beer alone. There is no moral to this story. Okay, this one's called Not Therapy. She goes to the shops, this woman who hates shopping. She dresses smartly, hiding hairy legs. She knows what she needs, and pushes past those savouring, not swallowing the task. Fumbling with hangers, she flushes at the guard's gaze. She curses her feet and limbs, always longer than the size. Definitely fictional. She resents the variety myth. Trends infect like hepatitis. All the shops sell the same. The bored cashier doesn't even fake a smile. She wants to scream, "Hurry up!" but doesn't. She misses the bus. And there's a few poems in here with a bit of a domestic violence theme. And this one's called Drink Driving. Broken console, dusty dashboard. He pauses to belch before worming the key into the ignition. Outside the pub they stumble into stained bucket seat relief. Escape provocations, skins safe against seats. 2 years they've been going there, every Saturday night. Still he stirs up trouble. Now the highway. Relief has long since sped away. He fumbles to change the station to classic hits. Her vodka-softened eyes camp on the ripped vinyl window frame, taking in the dim lit road, lightly wet. The white lines that appear, disappear. The forested edges that come close before swerving away. A moment of lurching light pole fear. He doesn't notice her jump, but grips the wheel, straightening up, frowning with the effort to focus. She clutches her seatbelt and thinks about self-respect and whiplash, jealous of the car in front holding the road steady. So sorry to end on a somber note. Thanks very much.